down now.
This whole place is mental.
We come to really break it down now.
This whole place is mental.
We come to wreck the place. We come to wind me ways. We come to...
Hey y'all, so we really need to talk about something serious. Today is September 21st, and it's been a couple of weeks since the West Indian Day Parade here in Brooklyn. Now, everyone knows that the West Indian Day Parade is a really, really big event, and that not only does it bring together communities all over Brooklyn, but in particular it brings together the West Indian community here. So that includes both the West Antilles and the East Antilles. So we have Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Martinique, Guadeloupe, all of these countries. Some we know, really popular, and others that we don't know. We all come together to celebrate our identity, culturally, socially, politically, if you may. Now, this year, 2017, was a really difficult year because there's been more talk about the West Indian Day Parade Carnival being associated directly with violence. So there was a lot more security, there was a lot more regulation in terms of where people could be and couldn't be. For example, the Juve celebration was happening on the same day, the same Monday, as opposed to happening on Sunday night. So it was a big deal to be a part of the West Indian Day Parade and to come out anyway and to celebrate culture. Now, a really big part of the carnival is masquerading, and everybody knows this. Now, I'm not a first-time flyer when it comes to masquerading. I've played several years now, and this year is the first year that I've played consecutively. So I played last year and I played this year with two different mask camps, and I had the worst experience this year, and it's something to talk about because I'm positive that I'm not the only one who's been through something like this. So we really need to talk about what goes into playing masks and what the reality of it is, because people think that it's a great party, and it is, you can make the most of it, but at the same time, the logistics that go into getting your costume, paying for that costume, speaking with organizers, making sure that everything goes just right so that on Carnival Day the only thing you gotta worry about is, let's be real, shaking that thing and getting drunk. So again, it's the 21st of September. Labor Day was on the 4th. I played this year with Boom Mask Camp, and my section leader was Debbie Pass. We played in the April Reef section, and it was a complete disaster. So anybody who knows about masks knows that these things go for a lot of money. Your costumes are expensive. You can pay anywhere between $200 and maybe $600, maybe $700 and even more. Now, I played with this woman last year, so I was fortunate enough to get a little bit of a discount. I paid $250 for a costume. And even still, I didn't get what I asked for. My costume was toe up, my costume wasn't finished. The feathers looked like they had already been walking up on the parkway from last year, trampled, dirty. They definitely weren't as full as what it was advertised as it was supposed to be. The bra wasn't finished. The little hoops where you're supposed to put the string through was hot glued together. Like, who would do something like that? And then on top of that, delivery of the costume was a complete catastrophe. We were told that we were going to pick up on Sunday at 3 p.m., which everybody already knows is a late time to pick up your costume. We waited about 7 hours to get this costume that was incomplete. We got our tiaras. They were already falling off before we got to the parkway. The hot glue wasn't sticking. We got some other things, some other items that weren't sticking together, but fortunately enough, on Monday, I was able to piece together my pieces and make it look full. I can put the picture in the video as well so you can see. But in order to get the front to look like that, the back was looking like something completely different. Because of the hot glued holes, the straps couldn't stay. I had to tie my costume in the back, and it had a lump about this big that was protruding. I had to wear my backpack the whole time so that people wouldn't see it, or so that people didn't get ideas about pulling off my bra. And it was a mess. And throughout all of this, my section leader didn't communicate with me. The mask camp didn't know what was going on, and they didn't know what was going on with her. We're hearing that the designer didn't finish in time. We're hearing a lot of things, and there was really no consideration for the customer or for the possibility that, sure, I've spent $250 now, but maybe next year, if I had a great experience, I'd want to spend more. It could sound ridiculous to some people, but I'm paying for my fun, I'm paying for my happiness, I'm paying to celebrate my culture with people, especially in a neighborhood like Crown Heights, Brooklyn, where gentrification is rapidly occurring and people are trying to fight for any piece of their own cultural space and identity and just any opportunity to thrive with their people. This is something that we need to talk about more, right? We need to talk about what goes into playing mass. We need to talk about what people do to be a part of these experiences. And we need to talk about who regulates these mass camps. Like, who is the person that's in charge of making sure that people participating are getting their fair share? So I've been in communication with my section leader for X amount of weeks trying to figure out, like, if I'm going to get a partial compensation at least for my costume, and if not that, if she is at any point going to acknowledge what really went into having to manage the chaos that wasn't even my fault to begin with. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys have experienced playing with these mass camps. Is this something that is normal? Is this to happen all the time? Like I said, my entire section had to deal with this, and there were a lot of people that paid way more than me and got nothing. They got no costumes at all. So one of the excuses is that we don't deserve compensation if we've got some of the pieces, but I think that's subpar. I think that's mediocre, and it's all too often that we expect Caribbean people to just accept the status quo. I'm tired of that. I think we need a new system. I think we need a new way to figure out how to play mass and how to celebrate and how to love our cultures without ripping off our same people in the end. Because at the end of the day, these mass camps are being supported by community. This is community-based work. This is a time for us together and be together and be happy. So why does it come at a cost for me to be happy? Let's talk about it.